Welcome back to Aledius Sports Talk. I'm your host, Enrique Aledius. So, the Las Vegas Golden Knights are looking to close out this series back home in Game 5. Here's my personal 3 keys that I think that they're going to need to be able to pull this one off. First, I think they're going to need to watch out for that Jason Robertson line. In this series, Robertson has been really dangerous, unlike in the previous one, so this is something that the Vegas Knights are just going to have to keep a close eye on. You've got Robertson, Hintz, Pavelski. I think so far that this has proven to be the deadliest line for the Stars so far in this series. And, I think the Knights being at home and getting that last change will be huge for them to match up against the Robertson line. They're going to have to watch out for Robertson when he's trying to get open around those areas in the net, and also watch out for Pavelski because, when he's standing in front of that net, everyone's seen it so far in these playoffs. He's just deadly with those tips. Secondly, I think the Knights are going to have to eliminate second chances in front of Aiden Hill. He's been playing really well for them. He's been playing awesome back there, making some huge stops. But I think a huge help in stopping the Stars in this game is going to be eliminating those second chances and, not allowing the Stars to have those chances right in front of the net on rebounds and making sure that they box out the guys in front. Because look, even though I know at this point, or I feel like at this point, he could probably make the first and second and maybe third stop, I think that as the game goes on, they're going to want to keep the Stars away from like those key scoring areas. And if the Stars are able to maintain pressure, I think that's when the Knights could find themselves in trouble, especially, again, more rebounds, more chances. And look, Hill has played incredibly well for the Knights. He's been a huge part of their success, filling in, since the Oilers series. But it wouldn't hurt at all to make his job a little bit easier. Let him make the first save, and then have the defense just take care of those rebounds. Lastly, I think the Golden Knights are going to need to come out and get a lot of shots and a lot of pressure on Jake Oettinger and do it early. Being back home, again, they're going to have the crowd behind them. They're going to have a lot of energy. It's an elimination game, so they kind of want to have that advantage and use that advantage to kind of get the early jump on them, maybe get an early lead, maybe an early 2-goal lead. Because look, to be honest, Oettinger, he's been awesome for the Stars in this playoffs and the season and all that. But in this playoff run, you got to admit, there's been moments where he kind of comes out a little flat, doesn't have as much consistency as you would want out of him. So hopefully maybe the Knights put some pressure on him, maybe gets him to be a little cautious of his game. Either way, he's a good goalie. They're going to want an onslaught of shots early on, and hopefully they catch him maybe on an off night, get him kind of guessing his game a little bit, wear him down at least. But again, he's a great goalie. He's going to come out strong. Again, an elimination game, so he's going to come out with a pretty solid game, I think. But the Knights have done a good job in the games that they've won and being able to get to him. And hopefully they're just going to get that attack on him early. And sometimes, look, just throw the puck to the net, right? I mean, you found that in other games where odd bounces and weird tips just sometimes find their way in the net. And sometimes it's those goals that mess with the goalie's head the most. It's the one where they'll just get a tip in, and even though they're the right position, it kind of goes in. So, those ones have them second guessing their game a little bit. But look, overall, I think the Golden Knights have a pretty good chance to close out this series. They played really well against the Stars this series so far, capitalizing on the mistakes the Stars have made. And look, again, being at home, I expect them to just not want to have to go back to Dallas. I don't think they're going to make that trip back, and then if they lose that game, then now it's Game 7. So I think they're going to want to get the job done in Vegas and then move on to the Cup Finals and hopefully do all that in front of their home fans.